Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Belair.
And I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Married to Medicine, Season 10, Episode 9.
Listen, I need y'all to subscribe, like, share, comment, thumbs up, everything up this video, because I know what we about to say, you're going to like it.
All right.
You ready, Blair?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
We first see Dr. Jackie. She is caring for the brat at her follow-up appointment. Only thing that really stood out to me during this scene was when Dr. Jackie was saying that she just encourages all women to be advocates, when it comes to their pregnancies, labors, and deliveries. And, if something seems wrong, say something.
Now, question. Do this kind of vindicates her for... Basically, like we heard everything that happened with Jackie outside the show.
Yeah.
But so this was obviously filmed before everything that happened.
Yeah.
Do this kind of show like the side of like, okay, she is like kind of like basically sticking to like the good side of make sure you question everything, do everything right. If you feel anything, say something. Do that kind of vindicate her in some ways? I mean,
I think I have a radical opinion about this whole Dr. Jackie situation.
Give it to me.
Number one, by Dr. Jackie, fighting for, women's maternal mortality. And even in this episode saying that she has her patients wants to make sure they advocate for themselves and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
I believe that's the type of doctor Dr. Jackie is. Now, people coming on and sharing their own experiences of whether she's has good bedside manner, how kind she is. And I feel like all of that's a little more on the subjective side versus her being a doctor, knowing her stuff and being able to perform. I don't feel like a lot of doctors have the best personalities.
Oh, okay.
And I feel like a lot of doctors, some of them do have these superiority complexes, these white coat complexes or whatever. So, and with her being a Black woman, I think that people expect her to be, more empathetic and compassionate and things like that. And I think maybe she is to the cause, but it may not come across in the way that we as patients or things like that might feel supported by. Like we don't get the warm, gushy feeling. Like she's telling you this in black and white, so but she's not sitting down holding your hand while you're crying. So I don't know if I might ruffle some people's feathers. I'm sorry, y'all. But I just feel like she's being a doctor. And could she do better if people were saying she wasn't listening to them?
Yeah.
And, their health was at risk? Absolutely. But I don't think that was the primary concern. I think people were safe in her care.
Okay.
Ultimately.
You made me want to scratch the whole episode and talk about this. I only got one thing to say.
Okay.
Because I am married to medicine.
No,
okay.
I need you to stop saying that because you're not married to medicine.
I am married.
And I don't want people to hold me to some crazy high standard.
No, but my whole thing is this though. But there is a standard, right?
Okay.
My whole point is it so basically you say, hey, we think people like patients and things like that. Oh, because you're a Black doctor and I'm Black, we're not looking for favoritism, but there's like a hey, you gonna make sure you look out for me for real.
Yeah.
And you basically saying hospitals most of the time, like doctors are very 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's not really relationally like that.
Right.
And basically you saying what Jackie is saying, she's going by the book.
Yeah.
And it's not so much of advocating for the person as it's not personal. Basically a relationship. But that leads me to believe, like, should a patient and doctor relationship be personal?
I don't think it's personal. I think sometimes people want more what they can consider compassion or care, which I feel like can be subjective.
Okay.
And I think some people are okay with Dr. Jackie's style. And I think some people feel like it's cold and it's not supportive. So yeah.
And truth be told, I think what makes the lines blurred, and then we're moving on.
Yeah.
I think the thing that makes the line blurred is that Dr. Jackie, she deals with women giving birth.
Yeah.
And that's a life and death thing in most cases. If I have a broken arm and my doctor's not compassionate, it's like, bro, just do the physical therapy, get up out of here. Stop seeing me. But if it's like such a beautiful thing and such a dire thing of like actually women giving birth, you expect like someone to be the most compassionate, because people on the outside is the most compassionate to pregnant women and things like that.
Yeah.
So I can understand exactly what you mean.
And I also want to speak to the point to where like people are upset about how, you know, she was in the discussion with Dr. Heavenly and said that as Black women, we can sometimes be dramatic or things like that.
That was OD.
And that was definitely out of line, OD.
Yeah.
Like, she shouldn't have said that at all. Even if it's something that she feels like she sees, she shouldn't have expressed that because it's too damaging and too dangerous.
Especially with your title.
Especially with her title.
Yeah.
But I do think some of the personal accounts, and I've only seen a couple, some of them seem to be a little more subjective versus like her actually making sure like you're safe and you have what you need.
That's fair.
So, yeah.
Let's move on.
Oh my gosh, y'all, don't torch me.
We ain't scared.
Okay.
Listen here. We are speaking our reality. We ain't lie.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Come on, let's go.
Well, Dr. Eugene is cooking for Toya.
Yeah.
And she is talking about she wants to do something romantic.
Yeah.
Not what they always do, which is cooking in the house, having wine, things like that. And she's like, you know, we have the wine club. We have wine at the house all the time. You cook at the house all the time. Take me out. Make me feel like something. So she feels that they've gotten comfortable with dates at home. She says they have simple nights in the house all the time. She expects more attention to detail from him. And she uses his credit card to get herself flowers, but would like him to do more of that stuff.
You first or I'm first?
You go ahead.
Toya, no. I was so against this scene just off the strength of Eugene does a lot. Right? And when I say does a lot, I understand there could be some truth to like, can we do more? And I'm like, all we seen throughout this season and through other seasons or the whole franchise of the show is that Eugene works. Like, you mad at me because I work 12-hour days and you don't work at all. You get what I'm saying? I understand you got your wine business. I understand you do other things. Phaedra called you like a tennis expert and things like that. But my thing is, you don't work to support the family. Like, you don't have you can choose to stop. Right? So my whole thing is, if you want to do something, don't make it seem like, at least from the male perspective, that like, oh, I need to basically come to your standard of like, yo, you need to do something for me. Wait a minute now. I've done it all. Yeah. I take care of the house. I've been moving house to house to house as if I'm being chased and things like that. When I had the IRS problem and things like that, of course, I'm the guy. I'm supposed to be the head of the family. I'm supposed to make sure we do not get ourselves in those situations. But I had to get us out that situation. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Solely me. I had to work doubles and things like that, be tired and everything like that. All I see is Eugene. He's cooking all the time, and maybe because he's the better cook. Since you got his credit card and you buy yourself flowers, show us you doing something with his credit card. Get him something. Buy him a chef or something like that to come to the house and create that date night you want and things like that. It just seems like, from my perspective, from watching the show, it's like I'm how am I doing everything right and wrong at the same time? like I thought if I'm doing everything right, I can't do nothing wrong. Yeah. But it seems like, oh, I gotta do this, and then I gotta do, and then once I'm doing the hard things, as in taking care of the house, I gotta do the little things such as cutting your track out your hair. Like come on, Toya, give me a break, please. Yeah. How do you feel about it, Blair?
To me, I felt like time and place, which is kind of crazy for me to say because I had a problem with that at the beginning of our relationship.
We still married though.
When to bring up certain things and when to table it and just enjoy an evening. So in this situation, I felt like, Toya, he's cooking you your meal. You're getting the wine out. Y'all don't have the kids here, stuff like that. I feel like maybe like a comment of, this is so nice. Like, you know, I can't wait till we can go out next week or something like that. Yeah. And then kind of just like leaving it alone. But she was kind of going in and to me like harping and complaining. Yeah. And for him to be actually in the moment of doing something caring and loving for you, I was just kind of like, time and place, Toya, time and place.
And Eugene looked disturbed. He looked like he looking at his watch. He just looking like
he's over here trying to cut up some stuff. He's trying to cook like.
And my thing is, I'm working and I understand there is a balance. I do not want to disregard that. Yeah. But there is something to when I work and I'm out here in the hospital, I do want to be home, right? And my thing,
and enjoy my home that I pay for.
and can I stay here? Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Because I sold my dream home. You know what I mean? There is something to my thing is, whatever you want done to you, do for others. Why don't Toya plan a date night or date day or things like that to where she pamper Eugene on camera that we see? Because I don't want nobody getting in my comments. I don't want Toya getting in my comments talking about, you don't know what I do for Eugene off camera. I'm like, I'm talking on camera to where you're like, you know what, Eugene do be working 12-hour days, and I know he would love to stay in the house, but what I got planned for us tonight, he's really going to enjoy it. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
But I still think there's a balance to that. Because as a wife, as a woman, as someone who's been courted, like, you still want to have some of that in your relationship. That, so that's still important, that it's not all about, if I want to plan a date, then I got to plan a date. It's like, no, he still needs to do his part, here and there. But yeah,
I understand that. Yep.
Toya says they haven't spent time getting to know each other again. Eugene says that this is the last dinner date that we'll have in the house.
Yeah, I think they had breakfast for dinner or something like that.
Yeah, it looks like they had like omelets or whatever.
So listen here, I understand that, but my thing is, there is something to that which I agree, but I do not want to be in a marriage to where every few years you're talking about we got to get to know each other again. And I'm like, I haven't changed. Yeah. You're still the homemaker, and I'm still the breadwinner that comes in the house, and we take care of these kids and things like that. But I do agree with her to a point, but don't make it seem like when you say get to know each other and then you need to set up dates for me. Hey, you want to get to know me too, right? You set up some dates. You got my credit card. I'm going to be paying for it. So you might as well just do it. I just feel like, get off his back a little bit, but continue.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Simone and Cecil, they got the investment condo for the boys, and they're in there setting up. Miles and Michael will be living there together. We pan over to Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Damon. They're chatting in the backyard, which is beautiful backyard, pool, dogs, everything.
Your dream life right
there.
My
dream right there. Okay. Sitting with my man by the pool chatting.
I don't know how to swim, y'all. So I don't see a pool in my dream. Okay.
And they are looking at old pictures of Alaura, and the kids are all grown. And Dr. Damon, he's even tearing up in the confessional, just saying that he's really going to miss her.
How did you feel about seeing him cry with his daughter?
That was really sweet. It was really sweet. It's nice to see parents really love and enjoy their kids. And it seems like they both really want the best for her. And he seems like he really loves his family, and especially his little baby girl. So that was sweet.
Especially, I think she's the only girl too.
Yeah, the only girl and the youngest.
Yeah, so there's something to that. I'm going to try to not break out and dance when my kids go to college and things like that. I get to be with my wife again by myself. So I might start break dancing. From whence
we came.
Yes, you know what I mean? Like, y'all gone, right?
Yeah.
Y'all can't come back. Y'all know that, right? Okay, fine. Okay, let's go.
Yeah. Well, Simone back at the condo, she has condoms all around for the boys in all different colors. And then Miles, he's like, well, why are they different colors? Like, what are you doing? And she's like, look, I don't want to be a grandma at this point, and we got the different colors to match your outfits.
That was funny. That was really funny.
The condo is actually 5 minutes away from the school that Cecil and Dr. Simone attended. So to them, it's kind of feeling like a full circle moment, and they're at this point in where the boys are in school and starting their journeys.
Listen here, I know, like, we see them and they are privileged to even for them parents to do this for them. Yeah, I hope they don't see this as a privileged thing and see this as, I gotta hurry up and get my life together. Because she even said, like, hey, you got 2 years of rent free, you got 1 year rent free, and 1 year can easily turn to 6 months.
5 years.
Yeah. No, I'm saying 6 months as in like.
Oh, like she'll cut it down.
No, I'm saying like a year go by fast.
Yeah, I get what
you
you're
thinking
saying.
You have a whole year, and before you know it, it's like August, and you're like, I only got less than 5 months left. Yeah. And I don't have a plan. So I hope he's planning, especially since he's older.
Yeah, I'm worried about Miles.
Yeah, I hope he's planning and getting some stuff together, because a year could go just like that. Yeah. Continue.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Heavenly tells Damon that she reached out to her sister because it was her mom's dying wish. She plans to keep trying. Heavenly says that she needs to do better with communicating with her sister. Yeah. And Dr. Damon encourages her to keep trying. We pan back to I think it was like first or second season, where we go back to where Dr. Damon's dad was buried in like a different country or whatever. And he was saying that his dad wasn't in his life, and he always thinks people should fight to keep their families together. And Heavenly just praising Damon, just thanking God for Damon because he's such a great husband and such a great father.
Great to see. Great to see.
Yeah. Next, Dr. Alicia and Phaedra meet up.
Yeah.
Phaedra says that after Quad left, the weight was lifted in the group. She actually felt pretty bad about the stuff that Heavenly said, that Quad had told her, and she didn't like that Quad was talking trash to Heavenly about her. It really felt like a stab in the back.
First of all, Phaedra, you haven't been on this show long enough to even know what type of weight Quad held or didn't hold. So to come on there as a newbie and to be talking about an OG in that way, talk about, Quad leaving the group, leaving the show, definitely it takes off a weight. What are you talking about? What weight have you put on the show? like so far, your appearance on this show has been a dud. You get what I'm saying? Continue.
Yeah. Well, 6 years ago, Phaedra began practicing Reiki, and she just got her certification. She performed it on Dr. Alicia, and she felt good. And Dr. Alicia said that it opened up her mind after doing that. And Phaedra thinks that Reiki event might be helpful for the ladies, especially coming off of the trip and all the craziness that went on there.
So they basically brought you on the show to do witchcraft. That's basically it. Because we don't even know if you're really dating married. We don't even know if you're dating medicine. We can't confirm that. We know you're not married to medicine because you don't believe in marriage in like the point you are in your life right now. So you're just on the show for what?
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah. Well, we are with T at her house with Dr. G.
Yeah.
She made him some pasta. She
Nice.
is going to she talks to G about her endometriosis, and she's worried about the unknown. She's never had these issues before. She wants to make sure she's healthy so she can have the baby. And Dr. G tells her pretty much not to worry, like your health is the number one priority.
Yeah.
She says it's important for him to go to the sperm bank to make sure his count is good.
Yeah.
But he has done some at-home tests, and his numbers are good. His folks are swimming.
Listen here, man. Dr. Heavily poisoned the pool for me. I'm going to bring out what happened on the outside into the show, right?
Yeah.
Dr. Heavily alleged that Sweet Tea already knew her diagnosis when it came to her fertility and things like that. I don't know if I believe it. Even though I know people like this exist, I haven't come across them in real life, so I find it very hard to know that they exist. People that like purposely trap somebody.
Yeah.
I never met no one like that in real life. I know it happens, but someone who would know and use the fact that like I can give you what you want, and knowing that it will be some hills to climb to get them what they want, but basically like, I don't want to say trapping Dr. Greg because, we seen how Dr. Greg acts. So she may trapped herself. You know what I'm saying? Because he hasn't shown himself to be the nicest husband in the past.
Right.
But I'm just saying it does feel kind of vindictive and kind of what's the word? Like you did some trickery to get yourself in the situation if what Heavily said is proven to be facts.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that whole thing once Dr. Heavily alleged that on Sweet Tea?
It did put me in a weird position.
Yeah.
It made me like just kind of like double question some things.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what T knew before or what she didn't know before. I know that with a lot of people who have endometriosis, like it can start early for some people and they notice that they have really bad periods and stuff and they get on like birth control to help alleviate a lot of stuff. So I don't know if she never noticed any issues ever in life before and it just started this year.
And the reason why
that seems kind of like, I don't know. It's a big question mark. And
the reason why I find it hard to believe based on Sweet Tea's life, I have some military background and stuff like that. When she joined the military. Right. And they do a thorough background and body test to make sure you're healthy enough for the military. So I'm like, Dr. Heavily, I wish you didn't say that.
But then another thing she said was that she had seen doctors before and she was in a lot of pain and doctors had told her that she just have to deal with the pain. So I'm just like, did you get a diagnosis at that time?
Dr.
And
Heavily.
they told you that this is just part of the diagnosis? Like, it makes me think about things that she said and I'm just like, well, what happened in those appointments? What did you learn? Did you not learn anything? So it's a question mark.
And there's other things she says, such as getting access to the money. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh, Dr. Heavily just planted a seed in my head that every time I see sweet tea, I'm like.
And when I saw the scene with the doctor, I was like, this is so huge for coming on here and hearing this for the first time.
We so
stupid. And I'm just like, is it the first time? I don't know.
So we're not going to say, especially how we gave a speech about Dr. Jack, we're not going to play or even give our objective opinion about if she's fertile, if she's not fertile, things like that. It's her body, it's things
nobody
like that.
Knows until you have the baby.
Knows. But I'm like Dr. Heavily, when you say stuff like that, you affect how I watch the show, okay?
Right.
Please stop it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to lie. Every time Sweet Tea was on that screen, I was like, please don't be lying.
She poisoned your mind.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I get access to the money. You know? Come on, let's go.
Well, Dr. Eugene takes Toya to a butcher shop / restaurant for them to have a cooking demonstration as well as a private dinner.
Yeah.
So Eugene says at the beginning of the relationship, he was a big planner, but it hasn't been that way recently. And I could just say for a plethora of reasons. One, y'all was in like hella debt.
Yeah.
And he was working to get them out of that and to pay back, their taxes and all these other things. And so Eugene's been busting his butt.
Yeah, man.
So I'm just like, let's take it a little easy on him if we can.
Yeah.
The menus are personalized, which is cute. They say Eugene and Toya date night. And Eugene, he actually jumps up to learn some new skills. He puts on an apron and he is just enjoying himself. He was
excited, man.
He was having the time of his life, which is actually sweet because not only is he learning a skill just because it's fun, he's happy to be there, but he's going to make this for you when he gets home, Toya. But maybe she don't want to have a dinner date at home.
I'm going to give my opinion about the date in a minute.
Anyway, they go to eat the food. He says this is the butteriest, softest steak. He is in bliss.
He's loving it.
Yes, she is embracing that this is what he loves. She feels like this was more of a date night for him. And she says, date 1, I give it a 7 out of 10.
She basically was like, you basically was dating the cook over there. When I was watching this with my wife, I asked her a question and I said, if a tree falls in the forest and there's nobody there to hear it, does it make a sound? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, how do you know? You know what I'm saying? Of course, I'm just throwing like just questions out there to describe this date. I have to criticize Eugene for this date only for this. When it comes to women, right, even though you did give her what she wanted in the sense of going out on a date, nobody know about the date.
Yeah.
Meaning you didn't take her in public so people could see y'all. Women wants to be seen. They want to be amongst. You get what I'm saying? You basically just, it's basically as if y'all was in y'all house. It basically was only y'all two and things like that. So I would say probably I could see how Toya probably feels like, yeah, we went out the house, but like we not amongst nobody. We still amongst ourselves. And if that's the case, we might as well just be in the house and things like that. Because I'm sure Toya came out looking beautiful, came out smelling good, hair done, makeup done, but the only person who saw was Eugene. You know, there's something to going out and being amongst people. Now I'm gonna criticize Toya. This could have been a date idea that you could have done for Eugene. You could have literally been like, because guys don't care about that type of stuff. We don't care about like if we going out and like we come across in amongst the people and things like that. So you could have put a private date for Eugene to where a cook comes that is actually like a great cook that know how to cook steaks since Eugene loves to cook. And guess what? Like you said, you look like you enjoyed yourself. Well, guess what? Why don't you plan something for him to enjoy himself?
Okay.
Every now and then. The butter steak, and that steak did look good. I ain't gonna hold you. It did look good. You know, and I'm not even a big steak guy, but that steak looked good.
Yeah.
You know, anything you thought about that date or anything like that?
I just thought it was a nice, well-planned, thought-out date. I thought the signature menus were a good attention to detail, which he was, talking about. He used to be so great with details. And I don't know. I wish he would have been more appreciative. But you can't put nobody's standards as to how they should be.
Don't grade me either.
Yeah.
Don't grade me. Don't be like 7 out of 10.
It just comes across a little ungrateful. But I wish she could be a little more specific with what kind of date she wants, so he's not stabbing in the dark and he spent a whole night out with you and you over here saying it's a 7 and he got to get up for work at 5 a.m. in the morning. No. I'm just like just tell him what you want to do.
And look, maybe I can learn something from this. If when we go out, would you like a private room date or would you like to be amongst the people?
I would like a private date.
Like, as in, like, us, like, I'm not around people at all?
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. Like, with the demonstration, that's cool.
Then we might as well just stay in the house then, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Take me out.
This is more private. You know what I mean? Let's go. Let's continue.
Well, Phaedra is hosting the Reiki session with her instructor.
Yeah.
All the ladies arrive. They're feeling the instructor, especially Simone. She is feeling up on the instructor. That was a little much to me.
You're married, Simone.
What if it was a guy doing that to a girl instructor? Like, it's just like, it's just a little off-putting.
I'm just saying, them doctors be living by different rules, man. You know what I mean? Go ahead, continue.
So they go through the sound bath and the Reiki. Heavenly and Toya said that they both felt some type of sensations. Yeah. Simone fell asleep. She ends up getting up, and so he offers up the individual Reiki sessions, which Heavenly volunteers begrudgingly. Dang it, I'll do it. Okay.
Yeah, she basically like, in the blood of Jesus, please protect me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So she saying that she felt a pulling on her heart, and it actually felt positive, which they said it was like a release or whatever. Yeah. So the other ladies are having refreshments by the pool, and T shared with the ladies that she has cysts on her ovaries, and Dr. Simone says that, you know, there is still a possibility you could be pregnant, and that's also not the only way for you to have a child. There are multiple options. There's surrogacy, there's adoption, basically speaking positivity on her. Yeah. So that way she doesn't get so down about what she was told.
Is that it?
No, there's more.
Okay, go ahead.
So Dr. Heavenly is in her individual session, and she finishes. She says that she feels really good. Then Phaedra and Heavenly have a private conversation and talk about her situation with her sister. And every time she contacts her sister, it brings up some type of negativity. Heavenly says she really doesn't know what else to do, but she says she'll try one more time. I do want to mention that she does call her sister like that B word or whatever. Yeah. And Phaedra's like, well, you know, then we got to work on the approach. So, and true. Heavenly, she do be just saying some reckless stuff out of her mouth. So I'm sure there's some stuff that she probably could stand to apologize.
I'm sure some of that negativity that she feels she contributed to as well.
Right.
You know, you're right.
Simone was telling T, make sure Dr. G does a semen analysis. We want to make sure like he's doing well too. And T says like, look, he has like 40 million, like he's straight. T feels like this is a fresh start with this group, and she's in a new space with the ladies. And she feels like she's actually getting some support. Dr. Jackie gives her synopsis of the Reiki session and said that she didn't feel anything but sleepy, but it was nice.
Yeah. So basically, it's been confirmed they brought Phaedra on here just for witchcraft. You get what I'm saying? How did you feel about this episode?
I felt like the episode was interesting. It was okay. Not too much happened, but
it seemed like they missing a certain person to bring some type of, you know, some type of life to the show, right?
But it was a peaceful episode. Sometimes I think you need that. So no complaints here. What about you?
If you miss Quad, put in the comments, I miss Quad, okay? I mean, I feel like the most interesting thing was the Toya Eugene thing. I think we are low-key interested in their dynamic. Yeah. More than, because Jackie don't show us nothing. Well, excuse me, Dr. Jackie don't show us nothing. When Dr. Simone and Cecil, they on peaceful terms, so they don't, when they peaceful, there's nothing really to be shown with them outside of, like, you know, with their kids and things like that. Dr. Heavenly is there to bring the drama. But if she gets along with Dr. Jackie, she ain't gonna argue with her. So it's like she's not arguing with Sweet Tea this episode, at least in the recorded episode. On live, who knows, you know? So I just felt like Eugene and Toya basically was the star of this episode, which we actually is interested whenever we see them on screen, because Toya don't do anything in the sense of working and things like that. So it's very interesting to see their dynamic. But I think the show needs Quad. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? I think these ladies...
I like Quad's energy.
I think they are more interesting than they let on. And Quad helps cover a lot of people behinds when it comes to keeping the energy up on the show. Okay. Anything else?
That's all I got.
Y'all be good.
Bye.